I used to be somebody before that freak Caillou sent his army south and ruined everything. We had a nice racket going on in the land of the Freelords, or what the rest of the Flaness calls the Bandit Kingdoms. We had a territory we ran, and we hustled and stole what we could from who we could. Sure, we fought amongst ourselves, and I'd just as soon stick my dagger into someone from the Freelords as anywhere else. But we always banded together when an outside force threatened all of our businesses. But all that changed when Ayus came a-calling. Half of the Freelords joined forces with Ayus to save their skins, and the other half got wiped out or sent packing to the other lands, or down into the rift. I was no hero, and neither were any of my mates. So after the massacre of Steelbone Meadows, we did what any guys in our situation would have done. We hightailed it out of there. The only problem is that everywhere we went, there were old enemies waiting. After finally getting corralled by the Ernst soldiers, I was left to rot in a dungeon, waiting for them to decide what to do with me. The way the guards look at us, I don't think we're gonna like what it is they have in store.
I think of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
He's my favorite old doctor.
With that, we're live.
Oh, we're
here
live
on the Doctor Who channel.
Hello.
Yeah.
Doctor Who, if you'd like to be a sponsor, we would love to have you.
No shit. I'll take Doctor Who
Seriously,
in
that
a
would
heartbeat.
be
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say.
Oh,
Oh,
I'd quit. So I just want to go out on a high note. Like,
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
We'd all
So-
quit, and that would completely just waste Doctor Who's time and
yeah.
the $5 they give us.
So true. Oh, hey. Hi, everybody.
Whoa,
and welcome,
I didn't see you there. Hey, folks.
welcome to Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. How are you folks today?
When did you
Right? Well, welcome in.
I see
I wanna
Frank
give a big-
Creed and Lee Kim in the audience tonight.
Yep, I was just going to
So
say I
now-
wanted to give a big fat shout out to our number one fans. You know, we should do something nice for those guys someday. We're going to
Probably
think
should.
about that. We're going to do
Yeah.
something nice for you
We
guys.
have to think about it because it's not in our general nature to do nice things.
Right.
Right.
So,
Oh,
we've got to
All right.
Google nice things and see what comes up.
see what comes up, you know. I got a great idea. Now, you guys can go ahead and just type in the chat if you like this idea. I could make 2 NPCs that the party can kill. One named Frank, and then one named Lee Kim. How about that? Huh?
We
that'd
do
be a
like
treat.
killing NPCs.
I mean,
Man, look at how they treat the guys they like. I mean, Hardchuck, for crying out loud, you know? Oh,
I
you
could
guys-
even raise them and we could kill them again.
Right?
piquing my interest.
Frank said send cheesecake. He's not buying in for this NPC crap.
I will tell you what. There's
Cult
a
Carter
restaurant.
cheesecake.
There's a restaurant not far from me that has the best New York cheesecake. So the next time you're in New York, you look me up. We'll get some cheesecake. On me.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys this. I play with him. He's never offered it to me. So there
No.
you go.
And I've played with him over 2
Yeah.
years now.
Yeah. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, episode 27. Well, yeah, that's right. I'm forgetting what I'm doing here. Let's start off. I'm Will DM. I'm the dungeon master for this great expedition into adventure and mayhem. Let's go ahead. First off, we'll go ahead and introduce everybody, and let's see if I can do this. Sometimes I remember. We're going to start over here with Jarhas. Jarhas, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you're playing, and something nifty if you like.
Something nifty.
Yeah.
I'm Jarhas. I play Raleigh. Tonight, I should probably be playing Morgan. Raleigh's got the whole split personality. Seems to be something more to that going on there.
I thought you were going to say Raleigh has the day off.
Yeah.
Technically, he could, right? I mean, if Morgan was just in there, he could just say, you know, It's his off day. He's taking vacation time.
He needed a little me time.
Yeah.
I stuck him on a beach somewhere in the back corners of my subconscious, and
Nice.
That sounds
very
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Continue. Continue, please,
that's,
sir.
that's pretty much the gist of it. They just escaped Kinmeat with their lives. So collectively, Raleigh has no idea any of this happened, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
And if anybody wants to know, Jarvis is a Patriots fan. Ugh. Sorry. Okay.
Why are you guys hating on the Patriots?
You know what? I don't like the organization, but I love Belichick. He's so good. He's so awesome. I love Belichick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Belichick is the organization.
Yeah.
I know, right? So thusly, I like the Patriots. I guess is a long way of putting it. All right, we're gonna mix it up a little bit, and now we're gonna go down here to Michael. Michael, tell everybody about yourself and who you're playing.
Well, let's see. I was born. No.
On a cold winter's night.
It was a cold winter's night. It was in
I know. I was
January
there.
at
I
night.
enjoyed. I enjoyed the whole process. It was
Your
fascinating.
mother and I were very proud.
It's like some lost stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Right? Oh God, don't start with that. All right.
But yeah, I'm playing Ash, who is a cleric, a death cleric, and just out there to put everybody to rest. That's his mission in life, is just to bring peace through silence.
Peace through silence. I love that. Excellent. All right. Well, having said that, we're gonna go down there to Steve. Steve, we kind of got like the top half of your head cut off there.
Oh, hold on. All right, one sec. Let me
That's
see.
the best half.
Right.
It's missing the headphones, but all right, sure. There you go.
Well, secretly, all it is that you're the most attractive guy on the stream, and so I enjoy looking down at you when I can.
Steve, I'm apparently the most attractive guy, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I will be playing Wyndon, who is physically decently looking, but has a very not great personality. He has been thrown into circumstances beyond his control, isn't too happy about it, but is trying to make his way out of here and survive, unlike his former compatriot, Silverwolf. Like that?
He died doing what he loved.
Yeah. And you know what? I gotta say, because of that, you totally throw off the entire vibe of the intro. Because I can't say, "Hey, tell everybody who you play," because it would ruin the reveal.
Yeah, well, that's how I do.
Yeah. No, not you, Steve. Not you. I'm talking about Adam. Adam's the one who messed it up.
Yeah.
I would never say you.
You're
ruined
the one who
anything,
killed
Steve.
me.
That's true. I did. So why don't you just tell everybody who you are, Adam?
Hey,
The
everybody,
Wonderless
I'm
producer.
Adam, and I am not playing. Where's my camera? Silverwolf the Ranger, as it says right there. I'll be playing somebody else.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mysterious.
I like the mystery.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And at some point tonight, maybe you'll find out.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do to
See if you can
squeeze-
get to it.
Yeah. See what we can do. See what we can do.
See if we could squeeze you in. You know,
Yeah.
got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Full plate. But
Now,
An recurring thing. Oh, we didn't have time to introduce Adam's character. Maybe next week, Adam.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
just using me to produce this thing.
episode 53.
Yeah, no, wait, come on, guys. When can I play again?
I just want to play. Everyone
All
else
right.
died and brought in new characters 3 times.
Yeah, but your guy's special. I just can't cheapen the moment.
It's true. It would have to be a grand entrance after that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and to continue with our fabulous word of the day, as always, the lovely Verona has provided us with a word in several different languages. Today's word of the day is new, as in new characters. So what we have up first is Finnish, and new and finished is uusi.
Ooh.
All right.
See,
Welsh.
I see.
Welsh is enude. Enude. All right, that's all right, I guess. And Dutch, it's enu.
Huh.
Yeah,
It's almost backwards.
I know, right? So now you can say new in several different languages.
I don't know.
All
That
right.
we can.
You know what? I don't know if I can either.
Oh, I'm confident you can't. But
As was just displayed. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to get into the recap. So this is episode 27, and in episode 26, well, we had some really bad things happen. So the intrepid press ganged opportunists were on the lam running from Rook Roost, heading across the plains, open plains that are the interior of the Bandit kingdoms. Came across a feller by the name of Lord Calvert. Part of the Jarhasians that have survived the demise of their kingdom. And they had told them that they were planning to go to Kinmeet, where they had stopped earlier when they first entered, with some notion of going and freeing a bunch of slaves. They go to Kinmeet, which is a city that is now dominated and controlled by orcs and has slave pens there, and went in. Got basically, what would you say? You didn't bull your way in. What'd you do? You deceived your way in.
We just asked if we can come in, and they let us. Really, it was, that part was easy.
Yeah, you guys did have the Iusian priest cloaks that you had gotten off of those priests that you had killed earlier on. So, but so they got into the city and proceeded to rush to the slave pens at the center of the town. Kill a bunch of orcs right off the bat, just go and hit, balls to the wall, and then tried to free the slaves who were incredibly afraid and didn't know what the hell was going on and didn't leave. So everybody else is like, let's get the hell out of Dodge. So they're starting to run away. And the truth of why Silverwolf was really saying that they need to come back here came out. Everybody is we can make this all up now and just say it's canon because Silverwolf's dead. He can't refute it.
Yeah.
But and so Silverwolf had decided that he wasn't going to leave that place without those slaves leaving too. He pretty much planted himself in the center of the town, and as the guards. Oh, and I neglected to say the Jarhasians, when they dropped them off. Started a distraction by riding around the city to draw the attention.
Yeah, but mostly fucking useless. Well, let's just be.
Well, I don't know if you guys had some kind of like plan. It may...
Yeah, they seem to be quite
like
with whatever it was they were attempting to do.
Yeah.
There.
Well, let's put it this way: when you guys
give them a their Yelp rating is way low.
All I know is if all those orcs that ended up come running back to kill Silverwolf at the end there had been there to begin with, I'm just saying, I guess they sort of did what they said. So
That's true.
But anyway, so Silverwolf decided he was just going to make a last stand right there. He had pretty much obviously decided that before they even went into the walls, and he stood there and he fought. And how many orcs did you kill?
Not a lot. I think it was 5.
But you did kill.
I wanted 7, but I only got 5. I did kill the war chief, which. So this is. I'm gonna make a suggestion to the DM, if I may. So as part of the Press Gang Opportunists' mission to get their souls back is to disrupt Ius and his comings and goings. I would think that killing the war chief in charge of a whole orc city is going to cause some problems within that city, as now there's a power vacuum. And these are not smart creatures for the most part. So are they? And they all, are violent, vicious things trying to. And they're probably all, who is going to stand up? And there's probably going to be even more death and destruction as they try to determine who will be the new war chief.
You are correct. And I have to say, so far, the biggest, because, they said, hey, go in and disrupt Iusian stuff, and that'll be taken into account, and we'll keep a ledger of the things you do. So far, coming into Kinmeet and killing the war chief was, hands down, the best thing you guys have done so far.
Yeah.
At least...
You're welcome, guys.
the two remaining original members, which are Raleigh and Wyndon, that is a big
Dollars
check.
to donuts. Raleigh's the last one standing.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, and so without a doubt, your friend's sacrifice actually did help out quite a bit for that. So where we left off is after that it happened. The rest of the guys were able to escape through the good use of some levitation spells and invisibility spells and what have you, and make it outside the walls of Kinmeet and ran out of bowshot. Lord Calvert and his guys were still out there outside of bowshot, just kind of like hanging out, waiting for the orcs to come and chase them. But the good thing about orcs is they fucking suck as riders and they're terrible archers. So Lord Calvert was able to pick up Ash, Raleigh, and Wyndon and put them on their horses and ride away. And this is where we're going to pick up. And it's still pretty early. It was because you guys came in, it was basically still pretty much morning.
Yeah.
When you guys assaulted. So we're going to say where we pick up, it's only like, say like 11 o'clock, it's like early afternoon. So, and you guys were given again some of the spare horses to ride, and Lord Calvert and his men headed south, started heading south after your escape. And so, that's where we're at. You guys are still riding across those rolling grasslands, and Lord Calvert kind of comes up to you, gentlemen, and you did not see him when you first came out, and when they came, some guys rode up and they had spare horses with you and said, "Get on!" And then everybody just started riding. So now you've been riding for a little bit at a decent trot, and Lord Calvert rides up to the three remaining Press Ganged Opportunists. So
you find Ash basically slumped over the horse, just exhausted from the life transfer and the escape and everything, and just basically laying there, blood still oozing out of every eyes, nose, mouth, and just kind of just gasping over the saddle horn, pretty much.
Excellent. So when Lord Calvert comes riding up, he's like, "I must say I didn't expect to see any of you, let alone three. That's pretty good odds."
Who won the bet?
And then when you, you're not there to play off of that. Damn it! I need to get your character back in.
The ghost of Silverwolf appears before you.
Yeah. Another soldier rides up and hands the money to Lord Calvert, rides away. So I take it the one named Silver Fox, was it?
He liked that name. He had his own agenda. It consumed him, but he did enable us to get away, and I think he actually died in a way he would have liked, which is a foreign concept to me, but whatever.
Yes. Well, I mean, hopefully you killed many orcs while you were in there. That's
a few. I mean, it's hard to kill a city of anything.
I agree 100%, and I must say that I didn't expect to see any of you, and so I'm quite pleased. It speaks volumes to your capabilities. Are you sure you're not interested in perhaps joining the cause of Jorhas? I'm sure I can find use of you, and if not me, I'm sure Lord Malvin will definitely be able to.
Well, what does that entail again, exactly?
Well, there's different levels of membership. If you wish to become part of the actual Jarhasian horde, well, there's a couple of rituals and what have you. Or you could just hire on as mercenaries. I mean, we do get in plenty of engagements. There's plenty of opportunity for plunder and what have you. So, that sort of thing.
Something to think about. Where do you usually operate?
Well, he looks around like somebody's going to be listening in on him, and he goes, Well, our bases are mobile. We have several, located throughout the Bandit Kingdoms, hidden bases, so to speak, where we just tend to stop in between and rest. But our main base, and where the Lord Malvin stays, is in Dimri. But as of right now, we're heading to the Tangles, and do you care to join us? I mean, it's obvious. I don't know where you gentlemen are headed now. I mean, your attempt at freeing the slaves at Kidmead has failed, so...
Didn't work great, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to discuss, of course, with my compatriots. I think we were originally going to consider the Rift Canyon or somewhere down there.
Well, we
but
can at least drop you close by. Tell you, I'll leave you two. You can discuss amongst yourselves, and then when you come to a conclusion, let us know. I mean, if you wish to go to the Rift, we're going to go to the Tangles first, but then after that, we could drop you close on our way back to our next location. So, talk amongst yourselves, and then let me know. And then with that, he just spurs off and goes away to some of his guys. Again, you guys, they keep you kind of in the middle,
right,
of their formation, and like I said, they weren't hauling ass away because they weren't really afraid of the orcs coming out after them. Because
it would actually probably be great if they did. You just kite them and keep shooting them with arrows.
Yeah, that's. And to tell you the truth, that's happened before in the past. And like I said, it's true. The orc horde is, they're not horse archers. They're not mounted combat's not their thing. So they tend to, when the Jarhasians are roaming around like they are in mass mounted, they don't bother with them. They'll just stay within the walls of Kinmead or what have you. So
refresh my memory, Will, because it's been a few weeks now. The Rift it's like mines, right? There's a lot of wealth being pulled out of there.
The Rift is, just imagine the Grand Canyon. That's the Rift. Okay. And yes, there is a lot of silver mines that are located there, and a lot of silver is pulled out of there and sent to Ayus. And there's several forts that are located around there. And matter of fact, let's see if it's even on our map here. They're called the Lyrian Keeks, but there's one, I think it's called Rift. Yeah, Rift Crag is the main fortress. And it is that's where Krasner hangs.
Right.
Okay.
I think originally we were thinking we were going to make our way down there and just kind of make Kidmead a stop on the way.
Yeah.
Because Krasner was not there. He was marching to Rookroost, right?
Yeah, he was out. Matter of fact, when you guys left, Krasner, you guys could see Krasner.
Right, yeah.
Or what you assumed was Krasner. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
The Rift was relatively unguarded then, right? Is that why?
Well, the Rift's not going to be unguarded.
Well, I should say that, but there's the bulk of the troops are up at Rookroost. I thought there was some reason we were going there now.
I think the idea was if we were ever going to strike down there, this would be the time to do it. Was kind of the thing I think we were going with.
I responded, by the way, Michael.
So Wyndon will turn to whatever entity is either Morgan or Raleigh and go, okay, who are you? Are you still Morgan?
Still Morgan, yeah.
So you know everything that Raleigh knows, correct?
I do.
What do you think about continuing on to Rift Crag, or did you have some other grand idea?
I think we need a clear idea of what we hope to accomplish, but if the bulk of Krasner's forces are in Rookroost, and it seems that they've left the back door open in the Rift, it would be a shame not to exploit that if we could.
Agreed.
Now, there's something that, why don't you guys both go ahead and give me, let's make it a knowledge roll. I'm sorry, knowledge.
Any specific?
A history roll. Okay. Sorry, yeah. Getting different games mixed up.
Great. Looking good.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, even better.
Oh wow. Okay.
That tracks.
Yeah. So basically, you guys know this one thing because this is common knowledge. The Rift does have a lot of bandits. But that's all. But that's all you guys know. So
Like free agent bandits, essentially.
you don't know. Not with those rolls.
Yeah,
all you know is that all you know is that there's bandits there.
Right.
In the Bandit Kingdom, no less.
Right? Go figure. I mean, how's that world play out?
It wasn't just a coincidental name.
Yeah. Who came first, the bandit or the Bandit Kingdom?
The world may never know.
Well,
Ash is like laying on his horse, just kind of slumped over, and all of a sudden his eyes get really, really big and begin saying, "No, no, not again, no." And then as he kind of just all of a sudden shoots straight up in the saddle with his hands kind of raised kind of up weird, and a different voice begins to come out of his mouth.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Adam, you're up.
Hold on.
That was Wyndon, by the way, not me.
Right?
Yeah.
Has a prepared
Kind of
speech.
moaning and swaying
I
back
don't have a
and forth.
prepared speech.
Van!
Like, I can't allow this to happen again. No, no, no. It doesn't. No.
Exactly. So what I will say is this, to help fill a little bit of the space. So
Talk at him.
the
I'm gonna let you do it. No, forget that. You got to do that.
I gotta do it.
All right. I'll do
Yeah.
it. Like, listen. There's more. More to be told. More. I have to tell more of this Silverwolf's story. Just kind of breathing and kind of falls back up against the horse a little bit and grasps at the mane and continues to kind of gasp a little bit. And the people who have your souls are not from Ernst. I'm getting this from Silverwolf. He is here. He is telling us this. The people are not from Ernst. It is something else. Something else I do not understand.
What?
Someone. You will meet someone. Listen to the new person. Slumps down again and over the saddle. And kind of continues to gasp, and fresh blood is beginning to come out.
You're looking good there, buddy. Keep it up.
Silverwolf is leaving. He says goodbye. To kill anyone you see. Kill them all. Make them suffer and pay.
That does sound
Are
like him.
you okay?
Ash actually passes out.
Well, that was interesting.
Morgan will try to ride over and like steady him on his horse so that he doesn't fall off while he's unconscious.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting interlude there.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah, unfortunately. So we're going to table that for the moment. Do you think we should ride with these guys through the Tangles? Because if they can escort us at least part way down, that would be helpful for keeping us out of sight and then offering some protection as well.
I suppose it is on the way.
Yeah.
I'd rather not get caught up in any Jarhasian nonsense, though.
I don't like to get entangled either, but the Tangles might be the safe way to go.
I like the wordplay.
Yeah.
And they did help us. I suppose it's count your friends where you have them.
Exactly. And besides, there might even be an opportunity for profit. Who knows? But at the very least, it offers some cover. So.
And the
I don't think
Tangles is not far. It's not
Yeah,
far.
yeah. I'll just say I don't think Ash really has much to say on the matter at the moment. So I think we can take an executive decision here.
I mean, we've got 2 votes to 1 anyway.
Yeah.
Do his zombies get votes?
No.
You can always switch
No,
back to Raleigh and get a vote again if you want to.
Yeah.
That's right. Although they'll probably be conflicting.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. So I'll make my way over to either the commander or whomever would be appropriate and let them know that we'll ride with you guys to the Tangles on the way down and ask if there's anything in particular they're trying to do while we're in there.
Well, Lord Calvert's he's the guy in the head dude, and he's got that one guy that like is always with him, but you've never caught his name. But he's totally approachable. I mean, he just rides up and talks to you.
Yeah, all right. Then I'll just go to him, sure, and say, Lord Calvert, well, I guess we should ask, what are you planning to do in the Tangles? But assuming it's nothing incredibly harrowing, we'd be glad to accompany you down.
Oh, well, yes. You see, in the Tangles, there's several bands of rebels and different types of people that are fighting against Ayus. Ayus has been trying to weed them out of the Tangles for some time. But the Tangles it's a magical place. They try burning it down, and then overnight it just grows back. It's amazing, completely amazing. But there's some groups that we keep in contact with when we're in there, just in case. You never know when you want to do a coordinated attack or something along these lines. So we're just gonna meet up with some of those people and then talk, just see how things are going with them. I mean, granted, they're there and they're holding their own, but while the force grows back, those that are working within the Tangles and defying Ayus, well, they don't grow back so quickly, let's say.
Okay, well, yeah, if you're willing to take us on and travel southward in the general direction we're going, then we'll be happy to accompany you. Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure. For men of your caliber, it's just amazing. The balls on you, gentlemen, are just extraordinary.
Yeah,
I love it.
isn't it?
I think he means that literally.
Gives you a nice big wink.
Great. Well,
okay. All right. So, yeah. So, you guys continue on traveling for the majority of that day. And you bivouac out that night. I mean, they have a break, but for the bulk of the day, and this is kind of hard on both Morgan and Wyndon because you guys aren't used to like being in the saddle that long. You know what I'm saying? So they ride pretty much all day. They have one stop during the day and then ride again till the evening time. They bivouac down in the evening, and then they actually make fires and what have you, saying that the bulk of the Ayusian forces are not on the eastern side of the forest. The ones that are, that's those guys over in Kinmeet, and then the dudes that would be over by Kragmar and whatnot. And so they actually have fires and are cooking and seem to be relaxing and having a good time. They do have several outriders that come and swap out every so often. So that night, basically what they do is they give you guys your own like little camp. They give you a couple of tents. They're personal tents, so it's for one person apiece. And they provide you with food and what have you. So it's evening time. You guys are exhausted, and you can basically, this will be a night that you can sleep, You won't have to worry about putting up any guards or anything like that because these Jarhasians, they got it covered. So
Right.
while you're there and you're sitting around the campfire and doing whatever you're doing, talking about your plans or what have you, I'm assuming Ash might be completely just like zonked out, recuperating.
Yeah,
or-
pretty much. I mean,
Okay.
basically until tomorrow, or if he gets prodded awake, maybe. But
Okay. All right. So basically, it's early evening, but it's dark out. So Raleigh and Wyndon, you guys are sitting around the fire that you guys have made, bullshitting, doing whatever you're going to do. Or I should say Morgan and Wyndon. And out of the darkness, actually, comes a guy walking up to your campfire. And you automatically know right off the bat, this is not a Jarhasian. His cut of his figure, the lack of the ching-a-ling-a-ling of like armor, because all the Jarhasians are armored up. They're wearing mail. Some of them have breastplates. None of them have on heavy armor, but they're all they'll have helms and and this guy who just comes, he almost gliding out of the darkness. It's almost as if the darkness just kind of coalesces into this person almost. And he comes walking right up to you guys.
Wyndon will sigh and kind of summon his crossbow into his hands and be like, hi, how'd you get in here?
There is no need for weapons. I am not your enemy.
Well, I mean, okay. But who are you again?
My name is Talon Ravengard. And he's like a, probably 5.5 feet, very slender. In the darkness, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what race he is, although he has the build of an elf. But again, with the shadows seem to he seems to be one with the shadows. And even when he moves where there may have been, moonlight before, the shadow sort of follows him. But at this point, he's standing, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 feet away from you. He doesn't have any weapons. He doesn't have any armor.
Insight roll of 22. I'm getting a non-threatening vibe from what was your name again?
Talon Ravengard.
And with the accent.
Yes.
The accent is suspicious.
Right.
He normally rolls his R's, but
Morgan gets up, kind of does a low bow, and introduces himself. I am Morgan, your elder, the Shieldlands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In times like these, anyone who isn't trying to cut your throat out is a friend.
We still don't know he's not trying to do that. Just gonna put that out there.
He looks intently at Morgan. And says, "This is interesting. I did not expect there to be. My queen have sent me and has told me of you and your mission, your quest, as it were. But I did not know that there would be more to you."
I second that. Who's your queen?
She goes by the name the Raven Queen.
Oh.
And
Will,
she
would
has
that
sent
mean
me
anything?
here to help you. Do you want to do a check
well,
on
you
that?
guys would do. You guys can do religion checks. Ash, who is sleeping, would probably be the one that would know most.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's take a look.
But there's plenty of time in the morning for him to go.
Nice.
Natural 20.
wow.
Okay, so Morgan knows exactly who the Raven Queen is. You actually know quite a bit about the Raven Queen because it was one of the things that you studied as a hobby. You didn't just study about the Raven Queen, you study about the realm of shadows, as it is called in Greyhawk. And everything starts clicking. Things start falling into place. You start going, that's what this is. That's what those guys were doing. That's how they're. And so, like, certain things start to fall into place about. So what? I guess the one question is what has Morgan seen like Zarn before? I don't think he has he?
Through Raleigh, I guess.
Yeah, because you know everything
you
Raleigh
'cause
knows.
He sees everything Raleigh sees. Yeah.
Yes.
So you're talking about Smoke, yeah.
Yeah, so you're like Zarn Smoke, the Raven Queen.
Right.
Those so you know that there are a race of people that live within this realm, the realm of shadow, that serve the Raven Queen. The Raven Queen is considered the ruler of this realm to an extent, as much as there can be an actual ruler of the Shadow Realm. She is also she oversees the portal between life and death. And I'm getting a little bit of a feedback, so I don't know if somebody's got open.
I don't hear it.
Maybe no. I'm on mute on my. There we go. Okay, so the Raven Queen actually is said to be able to pluck the souls of people as they pass in between and turn them into her servants. But yeah, so Morgan knows exactly who the Raven Queen is.
With my 21, I still probably have some idea of who.
You've got a lot because she's a very well-known, she's not a boogeyman or anything like that, but
Right.
she's definitely a popular, especially amongst thieves and what have you, and people who are familiar with, doing their deeds in the dark and those sort of things. She's not necessarily somebody that would be worshipped, but she's somebody that is in common knowledge and what have you. So, yeah. If you guys have anything specific that you'd question about that.
Well, yeah, so Morgan's view of the Press Ganged Opportunists are kind of how do I put this? All right, so does he believe with the insight of 22, does he believe that this guy was sent to them by the Raven Queen? Because that's just like you mean someone like, oh yeah, so the Queen of England sent me down to your small town.
Yeah, no, totally.
Oh, yeah, like wait,
totally.
what?
It sounds so far-fetched, but yet you are 100% believing. You believe this guy. I mean, everything that's
Okay.
he looks like he would be one of her Shatter Kai.
He also looks like he just came back from a Cure concert.
Yes. And so, did Talon take his hood back and let them get?
No,
a
his
full
hood is still up.
Okay, so, yeah, you 100%. You know, this all as unbelievable as it sounds. It smacks of the truth.
So, my new friend, are you? I can see that you are wrapped in the shadow, but are you sure you're not mistaken? It was the Raven Queen sent you to us. I can't imagine what on earth someone like her would want with someone like us.
Indeed, our fates are entwined. And I walk toward, and I'm looking at Wyndon the whole time just to make sure he doesn't shoot off that crossbow. But I'll slowly.
He's just ready, but he's not actually,
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna keep an eye on you anyway. Because I've heard things.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm going to just interject one thing. You guys are at the heart of a Jarhasian. Jarhasian.
It's a Jarhasian.
Yeah, Jarhasian encampment, and this guy just walked.
This dude.
Oh yeah,
That's why I have my
did they take
crossbow
any
out.
notice?
Yeah.
Like,
With
did they just not
yeah,
notice him?
with no issue, I was able to. Get him. Yeah.
If you look around and you look at the other Jarhasians, they're just kind of like going about their business. They're acting like either one, they don't notice them, or if anybody's like looked over and looked at you guys, they haven't like put anything together because like, well, who the hell? Nobody just snuck in here. You know,
Right.
they just think it's like
All right.
they just think it's like one of you guys standing up or something with your cloak on. I mean, Ash is in his tent sleeping, so maybe it's Ash. You know, there are three of you guys.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll slowly walk over, so I'm a little bit more in the light of the campfire, and I'll slowly pull down my hood, and you can see as the light sort of hits the cloak, it's sort of like all on the top are just raven feathers. And when he takes off the cloak, he's got just long, like jet black hair. His skin is a lot like Zarin smoke. Zarin.
Yep, Zarin.
Where it's sort of this like it's almost like a sickly pale gray color. He has these, like, his eyes look abnormally dark, and there's not really much of a reflection of the light in them, and he also has some sort of like just makeup on either side that looks like it was just sort of somebody stuck his hand in black makeup and just sort of went like this on both of his eyes. And long, almost like, because his features are so sharp, like his ears look a lot longer and pointier than a normal elf. He has two earrings, like sort of like small hoops in one ear and one in the other. And he says, "Indeed, the Raven Queen has sent me. I am Shatterkai."
Mr. Ravengard, you realize couple things. One, haven't had a whole lot of positive experiences with people who we've been calling gray elves, but I'm not one to hold someone's appearance against them. So two, the Raven Queen sent you?
Indeed.
Echoing what Morgan was just saying.
Yep.
Are you sure it was the Raven Queen?
You're
Yes,
sure she's
as
just
I-
not some lady who called herself the Raven?
Yeah.
I watch a couple gin and tonics.
No, she sent me directly from the Fortress of Memories.
That's,
Whoa.
I mean, he kind of puts the crossbow down, but he's still, it's near within reach, it doesn't have to be.
You
And he
search
goes,
for your souls, yes?
I have to interject something just really quick, just for Morgan's sake, for the coming conversation here. You're fascinated with the Realm of Shadow with that role, because, like I said, it's something that you know a lot about. So that
Sure.
means that obviously you've studied it.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So this, you're like, wow, okay, wow, okay. That's who
Right.
that's who Zarin Smoke has been this whole time. He's been a Shatterkai guy. What the hell was I thinking? Of course he was.
Son of a bitch!
Right? Okay.
All right.
I'm just having a little bit of difficulty with this. I mean, we're just like, well, I can't speak for Morgan, but we're mostly criminals and outcasts who have had some bad luck. I don't see why a semi-divine being would send anyone to do anything with us.
Well, because, as I said before,
Let him speak.
our fates are intertwined. In order to uncover the mystery that you seek, we must work together and defeat the Shadow King.
Shadow King.
So Morgan kind of like sits down, and he's like, sitting forward, like with his elbows on his knees and leaning in, very interested. He goes, "Please do continue. This is."
Well, this fiend has no claim to his title, of course. But, while I do not know everything, I know that in order to uncover the truth, that you must help me defeat him and send him back to the realm of shadows.
Sure.
Actually, it's keep him in the realm of shadows.
That's what I meant. Sorry, keep him in the realm of shadows. The motherfucker is trying to get out of the realm of shadows.
So, and is this at all connected with Ayus, or is this a whole other entity that's causing trouble?
As I say, I do not know everything, but I know that your path leads to Ayus, and I
Yeah.
know that our fates are intertwined.
Right. Cool.
And that's why I was sent here, to find you.
Speaking of which, how did you get in here without anyone raising any alarm whatsoever?
I have ways of travel.
That's nice. Okay. Well, I mean,
Also,
Sure.
I'll interject too. That's Zarin Smoke's claim to fame. The reason he's got the nickname of Smoke is because he's as elusive as Smoke. He like shows up in places nobody thinks he would be able to show up. He's a master assassin. You never see it coming, sort of jazz. That's how. So
okay.
I think
There
he's
you
an
go.
amateur.
Everyone knows his name. How good of an assassin can he be?
Yeah.
right.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. You know what? Morgan seems into you. I've had a bit of a day, and why not? Let's just keep it coming. Welcome. Nice to meet you. I'm Wyndon. You probably already know that, I guess. And
Well, I do not know your names, no.
oh, great. I'm Wyndon. Hey. And I think I'm gonna go to bed now.
So Morgan would kind of wait for the and then he'd start asking, just like, "What is? So you've met the Raven Queen? What is she like? What is the realm of shadow like? Is it? Can you exist there if you're not Shatterkai? Does it feel strange for you to be out of it?" And it's
Yes,
just
I
like,
do.
yeah, one question after another of like things he's hypothesized on, and finally has the opportunity to ask.
Michael, the answer is yes.
I asked you 2 questions.
Oh, I got the first one before it disappeared off my screen.
No, I mean the first part or the second part. I was assuming it's the first part you're answering yes to then. Okay.
Yes.
And actually about
okay.
when this is all happening, Ash does come crawling out of his tent and still very weak, but on seeing this person here with the feather regalia and so forth, almost gasps and like something close to horror, but not quite. And then kind of says, so you say you're with the Raven Queen?
Indeed. She is my queen, and I follow her anywhere.
Do you pity those who would suffer and die?
That is not for me to say. All I know is that some souls are meant to live again, and others are not. And it is the Raven Queen who decides.
I see. And just kind of like slumps down again a little bit and pushes himself back up again, and he says, so you have business with us, or so you claim?
Yes, cleric of Nerul. Our fates are intertwined.
That
I am not your enemy.
remains to be seen.
Fate has brought us an ally. Do not turn your nose at it.
Fate has brought us an enigma.
Well, all right then.
We have been faced with an impossible task. We will need an enigma or two.
And Ash doesn't seem at all taken aback by crawling out from his tent and just seeing this dude here. I mean, he was like, his aghast wasn't like, oh, there's some guy standing here. His aghast is what he is. Am I right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
More of a, I don't like this. This is not a turn of event that I'm comfortable with.
All right.
I'll turn to Morgan
Mhm.
and say, from what I understood, those who were still alive did not have souls, yet while you don't have a soul, there is still something there that I don't understand.
I think it had something to do with the spell. You see, Raleigh and I, we were part of a teleportation spell gone wrong. And our entities were fused in a way that I still don't fully grasp, but somehow I fear my body was destroyed, but I managed to survive somehow in his, and our souls are intertwined in some way. I think that because of that, when they extracted our souls, something might have been left behind. I don't feel quite as hollow or as empty as I would have expected to. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I believe I understand, and I think that in some way this may be helpful for us on our quest. If you will have me.
I'm not in the business of turning away help.
Cleric of Nerul, what say you?
When I was recently intertwined my life force with our most recent companion, and at the end of that intertwining, he spoke some words through me that I sort of remember, more of the pictures and impressions. Somehow his life force was warning me that you were coming. I'm not sure if it was a warning of good or bad. But for now, you will stay.
I believe the exact words were, "Listen to the newcomer."
Listen, but not trust, not obey, not even accept. Simply listen, and listen we have.
That's true.
Fair point.
Well said. All right. So,
And of course, Wyndon had already given you his exasperated, sure, what the hell.
Yeah. No, he seemed on board. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, I'm pretty down with a dude who can just walk into the camp. I'm down with that. All right, cool. He was like, if he's going to slit my throat in the night, so be it.
Yeah.
All right.
I've done that anyway.
Yep.
Exactly. Okay. So then basically the night will pass the rest of the evening. So I take it Talon just kind of like beds down.
I would probably leave the camp.
Okay.
And tell the others that I will meet them on the road, so as not to cause any suspicion.
Excellent. All right. So
And then I just totally disappear.
Awesome.
like literally.
Yeah.
Is that-
No, I literally
Okay.
bamf out. Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to hear how that looks.
So
Describe it.
even I take like maybe 2 or 3 steps back, so I'm not directly in the camp light anymore, and the shadows just swirl around me, and then I'm no longer there.
Damn, that's cool.
Say
All
what
right.
you want about him. He's got style.
All right. All right. So the rest of the evening, can't really top that. So it goes by quietly, and the fires will burn down. The camp goes by with this type of a group. There's nothing really that any type of like wandering predator or whatnot steers way clear of this. So the next morning, camp is broke right before dawn. They get up and get ready, and I'm sure something that Wyndon is very happy about. And who is waking up in the morning, Jarvis?
Still Morgan.
Okay, so they break camp. They get on their everybody gets mounted and rides off. Hey, do me a favor, Adam, and put up the switch it to the map there, so we can just have a little look at.
Yep.
Now, if you guys can see right here, we got Kinmeat, and that top tip of the Tangles is really close. If we could just get it,
There you go.
Scooch up, cool. Okay, so that top portion there, and so that's where you guys are making a heading towards. So you're kind of going on a southwest direction. Not long after you guys had been riding, it's like literally maybe a half hour's worth of riding. The Tangles comes into view ahead of you.
Right before then, I'm as they ride up, I'm standing in between the Tangles. And,
Okay. And so what happens is
because I have to introduce myself to these Jarhasians at some point. I
Oh,
guess.
totally. So
I
what
just didn't want to let them know that I infiltrated their camp so super easily.
right? So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to that. So as you're standing outside the Tangles, this is before the main host of the Jarhasians. Jarhasians, oh god, the Jarhasians come into view. Two riders come thundering down upon Talon, staying well out of like sword reach, and they're kind of like riding around in circles around you. And the one guy, he's got his sword out, and he points it at you. You there? Who are you? Speak up.
I await my friends. There is no need for weapons here, and I just hold my hands out, showing that I literally have nothing on me.
You hear that?
I don't even have a dagger.
Right? He laughs and goes, "You hear that, Fargon? He's going to tell us who and what we should be worried about. We'll tell you who and what to be worried about. Spill it. What's your name? What are you doing here?"
Right up there at that point beside them and kind of calmly say, "We should listen to what this one has to say."
Okay. And
One
the
of my
rest
friends has
I
appeared.
believe he may be an associate of mine.
And then the two guys look at each other, and then it's not long after that because Lord Calvert, he's pretty much at the head or the van of his troops. So he comes riding up, and one of the guys that was riding around Talon speaks up to him and says, "We found this one standing here. Says he was waiting for his friends. And this one, the creepy one, says that he's one of their friends." And Calvert goes,
"Technically, I said may be an associate of mine."
"Yeah. Is this true? Is this man a friend of yours?" And he looks towards Morgan and Wyndon at this point in time.
He's something.
Morgan gives like kind of like a solemn nod, and he's like, "He's with us."
Interesting. Well, you are full of surprises. lose one man, find another on the road. How convenient! Oh, if only I could do that with my army. And he comes and he rides up within like only a couple of paces, and he's not looking you straight on. He like rides sideways so he can get really
And
close.
I still am just sort of, arms out, just standing there.
Right. And he gives you one of those, like, looks you up and down, like moves a little to each side and goes, huh, well, why not? if these fellows are going to vouch for you, that's fine. No harm there. Go ahead, find this man a horse. I don't want him slowing it. Well, actually, dismount! We're here.
Second thought. If he doesn't have a horse, none of us do, because we're going into a forest.
We're going into a forest.
And I kind of pull Lord Calvert aside and suggest that he have a couple of men keep his eye on this new one.
Oh, my fair priest of Cuthbert, I have men keeping an eye on all of you.
Yeah, they didn't do a great job last night, I say. I think.
I think. And so, essentially, the host that is there begins getting off their horses and start walking towards the outer edge of the forest. And as they start walking towards that edge, almost first of all, why don't all of you guys give me a perception check?
Okay.
That was my perception of this guy. Not as good as Silver Wolves. Third. What am I? No, I gotta change my name.
Wyndon knows.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And we'll say that
keeping an eye on this new guy.
yeah, we'll say that that Raleigh does as well. And basically, not Raleigh, but Morgan's he's pretty much vigilant. You don't notice it right off, but then you're keeping an eye on Wyndon as well as the rest of your friends, and Wyndon pretty much clues him in, and then you notice it before the action actually happens. Now, Wyndon, as the troop gets up and starts dismounting, and you do the same. You pull up your horse, and before you even actually start to get down, you go, "Huh, that's an awful lot of archers." And you're looking right into the forest, and there, expertly camouflaged, because it seems like nobody else is paying any attention to it, are a lot of men and women with let's just say how you would think Robin Hood's men should look.
Right.
But they have like some of them, they have faces painted. Some of them have like leaves and whatnot stuck into their clothes and whatnot. And as everybody starts dismounting, they start unblending from the foliage in the forest there and start coming out of the forest towards them. There's about 12 of them. Now, the Jarhasians, while some of them are kind of like, and like are surprised, they're not surprised and like, oh shit. They're like, oh yeah, there they are. And they know each other. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So let me see here.
So basically, you're saying there was this brief moment of like, oh, fuck under your horse. Oh, no, never mind.
Yes. Oh, no, we know these guys. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. So let's see. Obviously, I don't have that down correctly. Is there a space when you're whispering to somebody?
It's, I think,
/W.
/W.
Oh, I always do.
/W space.
/W. There we go. I got it now. There it is. I always tend to do W/. That's why I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you're new to Roll20 still, so.
Right. I've only been using it for, I'm new to computers too. So, yeah.
I mean, it's all relative.
Isn't it the truth? Oh, for crying out loud.
I mean, a slash is a pretty common delineator, but.
/W. Well, it's not bringing up.
You have to go by what's written there, so probably the character name first.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying, and it doesn't bring it up. It brings up another character's name. Interesting. Let's try it. Let's see if it's that's why it's got to. There we go. All right, I found it. I didn't realize it's cap sensitive.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it is. So, I just need to write one thing.
Who's getting the secret message?
I know, right?
It's not cap sensitive, by the way, guys. For those of you wondering at home.
Well, how come
those of you wondering
tested it out myself.
Well, how come it didn't bring you up when I wasn't using the capital, but when I put the capital in, it brought you up? Damn it! I just let them know who it went to.
Yeah, it pops him right up. No problem either way. So.
Right?
I think Roll20 is just fucking with Will.
You know what? I agree with that, Jarvis. 100%. I think they just do it. I think they've got private videos of me having a hard time because they're messing with me, and they watch them on their lunch breaks.
Right.
So,
I mean, like, oh, what'd you do to Will today? Oh man,
right?
I replied with a question here.
You'll see. Okay, you'll see. All right. So as they start, these archers
Since we all
start.
know that I got the whisper.
Right. It doesn't matter now.
And
So,
those of you at home can read it.
as these archers start coming out, they seem to be led by she's a woman. She's not extremely. She's not really tall. She's maybe 5 foot, kind of on the wiry side. Has jet black hair pulled back into a ponytail and very pointy features. But she does have a look of not bravado, but and it's not quite arrogance, but like confidence about her that seems to like just kind of like exudes from her. And she comes out and she walks right up to Calvert, who's dismounted, standing there, and looks up at him, and he just towers over her, and he goes, "Ha ha 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 ha! Ah, Relina, so nice to see you. Now, let's see, I'll give it away in their conversations. I never tired of seeing you. I haven't even tired. I still remember the first day when we were at Renaud's keep when I first met you all those years ago, back in the Tangles earldom before the Jarhasians came and destroyed it all. Enough. I'm not here to talk about the past. Do you have anything for us?" And he's like, no, nothing new. I was just coming to check, make sure that you were still alive and kicking about in the Tangles. We've acquired some new allies, though, and I think we have very powerful allies now. And at that time, when she says that, out of the woods comes this really tall blue guy.
Oh shit!
And he's like, and because I am an ally now of you people.
Oh no! Oh no!
And she like gestures towards the blue guy, and he comes walking up, and he stops and he goes, "Hello, Wyndon.
Oh,
Hello, Raleigh."
So you can see like Morgan starts to twitch, and he looks like he's fighting it, and he's just like, and he's Raleigh, and Raleigh just like, Narjar, and he just runs up and gives him a big hug. I thought you were either dead or turned into a bird for sure. Like one of those two. Which one? Did you die or did you get turned into a bird?
I can turn into birds if necessary, but I did not die. I came home to talk to my people so they could know what I had learned.
Your English is getting much better. The comment is getting much better.
Thank you. I try.
Rosetta Stone. If you'd like to be a sponsor, we would love to have
It's an actual stone.
it.
Yeah, no doubt.
This nice amulet.
And then coming out of the forest are two more guys. One you guys recognize, and he's got a what looks like a brass hand made into like a fist, and he's dressed in loose-fitting, almost like robes and what have you, and you're like,
We lost your sound.
Okay, it's not just me.
No, it's
All
just
right.
Will. Yeah, we lost your sound.
Yeah.
So this may be a good time to go to break.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the right
Although
ballpark
I
of
think
time.
for those who watched episode 1 may remember, this is probably the monk who Silverwolf cut off his hand.
Oh shit! I thought he died.
No, he survived.
We basically
We
assumed
didn't-
everyone died.
Yeah.
I get that he was alive when we left him.
Oh, but like during the
leave someone,
fracas?
like unconscious and bleeding and seizing, like you can assume that they're dying. I didn't see him the next morning at breakfast.
I knew he'd be back to torment us. Of course, I wish Silverwolf were still here. Round 2.
Right?
So, Will,
Yeah.
nod your head if we're going to go to break while you figure out your issues. All right. We will be back in just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and we will return momentarily. Now
To
I
the
gotta-
Bandit Kingdoms.
Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. I have to find. There we go. There it is. All right. Now we're ready to go to break. Be right back.
Nice.
I'm gonna.
live or back.
Yeah,
I forget
welcome
where
back.
we are in the program. Hey, everybody. Thanks for waiting a few minutes, but
We're
we can
alive.
actually hear the DM, which is helpful.
Yeah.
Got refreshed, got new drinks, and I got some chips, and we're ready to go.
Yeah. What kind of chips did you get?
They're like generic potato chips. I don't even think they're a brand name, but they're pretty good.
It just says potato chip.
Yeah.
on the,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Someone
Brought them to my house. I had some people over last week, and now I'm eating the chips.
Nice.
They,
I wanna
the
come up
people,
with
do
a
they
food
work for
brand
like the Dharma?
Yeah,
collective
just a gray bag with the Dharma Initiative symbol on it.
Unless you gotta come up with
Says
a
chips.
brand that's called like It's or Their. So it's just like It's Ketchup or Their Chips.
Mhm.
Well, I had my advertising idea for any product is just a black screen, let's say a potato chip. So you just see the potato chip, and underneath it just says, here's the product, buy it or not, I don't care.
I like that.
See, I have a similar one, but mine would actually work.
that.
What you said, except instead of a black screen, and it could be any product, rum, a potato chip, toothpaste, doesn't matter. A naked woman. And
Oh.
go.
Yeah. I want to buy it already.
See, sells, my friend.
Yeah.
Drink Coke.
Okay, yeah.
And right off of Bill Hicks there.
Man. Doesn't meet FCC standards, but otherwise we're good.
Yeah.
Not
That
yet.
doesn't matter.
Give it time.
I wanted to have not that we're completely off topic right now, but I always thought it would be cool to have like a cable channel, and it would be nothing but commercials, but you could have any kind of commercial you want. So like R-rated, X-rated, the whole 9 yards. Like a Tide commercial, which starts off with a guy just walking through the house and killing people with an axe. And then like a lady coming up behind him and go, oh, well, I'm going to have to use Tide to get all these bloodstains out.
So we've learned why Will's advertising career never took off.
Right.
And in
I
fact,
think it would sell.
they actually
I have an
committed
idea
him for
for. I
3
think
years.
there should be like a Letterman or like Jay Leno, like a Tonight Show type deal. But all the guests when they come out have to be shit faced.
You know what? They actually almost had that when Jimmy Kimmel first started. Remember he had Snoop Dogg was like his Ed McMahon. You remember that?
I don't.
He used to.
But,
They had a live bar. So like if you want to watch like the first I don't know, it wasn't long. It was like maybe the first 3 episodes, and everybody would get so faded by the time they were like by the end of the show. Everybody was like, that's pretty cool. All right.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so
Norjor, I can't believe you're alive. Wyndon, Norjor's alive.
So I see.
Silverwolf. Guys, where's Silverwolf? Norjor's alive.
Yep.
Guys,
Yes.
Well,
nobody's answering you, man.
Well, yeah.
well,
You're
okay.
asking about Silverwolf?
Norjor is gonna be so happy.
We
to
left
see
him behind in Kinmeat, you'll remember?
What?
He died
Riley,
there?
what's the last thing you remember?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. So I was an orc, but then I remembered I don't know how to speak orc, so I couldn't really be an orc. So I just kept my mouth shut, and then we went into Kinmeat, and we were gonna save the slaves, and then it gets kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, they didn't want to be
Sure.
saved.
We saved the slaves, right? We saved the
No.
slaves.
No,
They
we
chose not to be saved.
they didn't want to leave with us, and neither did Silverwolf. He stayed there and fought off quite a large amount of orcs, I think.
And then he escaped,
No,
and
No,
we're gonna
he
meet
did-
up with him.
no, he didn't want to escape. He seemed to want to die in battle against them.
I
So-
pushed my life force into him to give him an opportunity to escape, but instead he used my gift to die a valiant death upon the battlefield while sending many other souls to meet their groomsh.
Wait, so Yeah, I think something's getting lost in translation here because it almost sounds like you guys are saying that we let Silverwolf die, and of course we didn't let Silverwolf
he
die.
let himself die. We tried to get him out, but he didn't want to go.
Where were you, Wyndon?
Where I
Carrying
was
me out of there.
Where was I? Where
Running
the fuck did
away
I go?
like a little girl screaming, ah! Hands in the air.
Where were you? Well, I don't know where you, Raleigh, were, but your body was being piloted by Morgan, and he was, after establishing that Silverwolf wasn't going to leave, he was getting out of there.
Morgan killed Silverwolf?
No, a lot of orcs killed Silverwolf.
Fucking orcs.
Sure. Yeah. They but he actually seemed, for Silverwolf, he seemed happy, and happy being a relative term, but
I mean, he did love killing orcs.
he really did. He really did.
I guess he died doing what he loved.
It would appear so. Yeah. So, but I didn't expect to see Nordjor, so that's interesting.
So that's cool,
Well,
right?
that's true. So in a way, Silverwolf died to
Right.
bring Nordjor back to life.
Exactly. That's exactly how that reads. Yes.
That is not what happened.
It
Says
was a
Nordjor.
noble sacrifice. You owe him a great deal, Nordjor.
No, I do not. But I am sad to hear that he is gone. Now, the other guy that came up with...
I'm just staring at Nordjor, if anybody notices.
Yeah. Now, the other guy that came up with Corwin is... because that's who it is. It's Corwin. And both Raleigh and Wyndon, you recognize him. And he has... his missing hand has been replaced, and he now has a cool-looking brass fist on that hand, where that hand was. It's another guy, really big. He's like almost 7 foot tall. He's got blazing red curly hair that's kind of thinning, wearing some leathers, and he's carrying with him a maul. These are friends of mine. You remember?
Oh shit, Nordjor! Look out! I know that guy. That's the monk. Look out! You guys were.
No,
You were fighting.
Yes, but not anymore. He is now an ally with these people fighting the Iusians that are threatening my forest.
Ah.
And the lady goes, yes, this is all very, very interesting. So, if you don't mind, you can all get caught up again. I have to speak with Lord Calvert. And the lady, Relina, goes and starts walking off with Calvert, and they're speaking amongst themselves. And did you catch up? Did you mustard? Did you catch the hints of what I dropped out there, Adam?
I might have when you first said them, but
It was something about Renault.
oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. She was she worked with Renault.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it's-
I when she first came out, I was looking in her direction, and then I saw Nordjor and looked in his, and
right.
yeah, but nobody's looking at me, so I won't tell you what my expression was.
There it is. All right, so they go and they talk for a while, and Nordjor says, there was another group like ours that had once gone to the Rift and escaped here to the Tangles. Corwin was with them, as was his friend Trent. And the guy, when he says his name, just,
Oh, well, hello, Trent. My name's Raleigh. That's Wyndon. Over there is my friend Ash. That's Silverwolf. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right now, Silverwolf's dead. I don't know.
This is like Ravenwood or something.
My name is Talon.
Trent, this is Ravenwood.
Talon
Ravenwood,
Ravengard.
Trent, Raleigh, Trent.
I walk right up to
Ravenwood.
Nordjor as Raleigh's trying to iron all this out.
and Trent says hi to everybody. Hi.
Somewhere in
guys.
those introductions, Raleigh introduces Nordjor to Trent.
and Wyndon to Ash.
Yep, exactly. And also, where is that incredibly attractive woman? I haven't introduced anyone to her.
I have Solace right here in my backpack, and I start pulling her out.
6.5 pounds of her.
Nope.
Actually, that's going to take a con save. I mean, she's continued to decompose, right? It's not like you've preserved her.
Yeah. So
Not
like
at least, no.
He just stuck her in a
when,
bag.
when
and
he
called it a
reaches
day.
in, he goes to pull out her skull, and like pieces of skin and different stuff just kind of like fall off, and
Really
he like
need to do that.
almost drops it because like as he's palming it out, the skin and everything just kind of like comes off of the skull, so he's kind of like gotta,
So that's a con save of 10. So I'm gonna say I don't puke, but there's a good retch.
Yeah.
There's a physical reaction.
Yeah, Ash, let's put that away, okay, buddy? Thanks.
She asked where she was.
Yeah, let's put her back. So let's Nordjor and Trent and Corwin. Nice hand, by the way.
Thank
What are
you.
y'all doing here?
They came and he goes, no, enough. We don't have 10 days to listen to you explain it. I'll tell it. And that's Trent talking. And he goes, my buddy over here, Mr. Other budding conversationalist, and he points at Corwin. We were part of a group, I guess, much like yourselves. You guys don't have souls, right?
That's what we're told.
My soul
I
belongs
think
to the
mine's
Raven
fine.
Queen.
Pretty sure I'm intact, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. All right. Good to know. Okay. So, our objective, we went to the Rift and we were muddling around there. We actually had a guy with us, Darton. He was, you remind me a lot of him, and he points at Talon. He was a sneaky fuck, real sneaky, and he was able actually to get into it's Cragmar, I do believe, correct? Let me double check. Rift Crag. We got to Rift Crag, and he was able to infiltrate. He got a bunch of like documents and things out of there, and we decided, hey, well, this is good. So we were going to like hagtail it out of there. And we started we just, headed north as quick as he could. Well, then, of course, they followed. There was like some nasty Iusian types. And they caught us on the road. And they killed Darton. And they took those things back. And it was just because of the ingenuity of Big Blue here that myself and Corwin were able to escape. And, well, we made our way back over here, back up to the Tangles. We actually met Big Blue on the road. He said that he was going to the place where the Iusians had some kind of like crazy idea. He was just going to march in and, the center of everything and just kill everybody. Who would do such a thing?
Right. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Somebody
Yeah.
pretty cool, I imagine.
Norwin
Did
starts.
you just talk for 45 minutes, or was that just me? I gotta be honest, buddy. I didn't hear a single thing you just said.
That's okay. So, all right. Well, there it is. So we've been kind of like hanging out here. What are you guys doing? Where are you going?
We were thinking of actually heading towards the Rift Crag in hopes of causing some sort of trouble. Did you know that their forces have primarily marched out to Rookroost?
Oh, really? Yeah. No.
Yeah. As far as we can tell, Krasner, he's gone with them. So
Really?
We were thinking we'd go to Rift Crag and steal some shit, but then not fuck it up and get caught at the end.
I mean, that would be
we'd
ideal.
succeed.
That would be ideal. Do you have any idea of the documentation that you actually found? Did anybody read it?
No, unfortunately, but they did a number on Darton. Yeah.
Came back for it, then that's actually important then.
Yeah. I mean, Darton had read this stuff, but whatever.
This man, Darton,
his
you
corpse
speak
He
is-
has his dead body. 'Cause this guy loves dead bodies. He'll bring him back to life and make him dance for you, and he's really good at it. Here, do some dead body stuff. Come on, man, you're embarrassing me.
He's talking to you, Ash.
What's that? I'm sorry. I was daydreaming.
Well played, Michael. Well played.
Can't imagine what Ash is daydreaming about. I don't want to know.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you talk about dead bodies. I was too busy daydreaming about dead bodies.
They were talking about because Trent was basically telling the story about how they'd been down around Rift Crag, and a fellow of theirs named Darton, a real sneaky fuck, got in there and stole a bunch of documents, and then they were hightailing it north, and they followed them, and they killed Darton and basically the other guys that were with him, and took the documents back. That's when Raleigh says, "Oh, do you have his body? This guy likes bodies." And
Oh.
so-
and
Yes,
hilarity
absolutely.
ensued.
Trying to hook you up, man. I'm being your wingman.
Absolutely. I can collect them, and I can let you know what they have to say too. You need to interrogate it.
I'm gonna guess that you guys didn't carry the corpse of your companion along with you. I'm just gonna put that out there.
yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't. But wait a minute, and this is Trent talking to you. You can talk to the dead.
Well, of
Apparently,
course.
he can.
Well, of course. Why would I?
Stupid
It's been
question.
that kind
yeah.
of several months for us. Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel for you, man. Hey, so,
I
no,
say this.
I know where they killed him. His body might still be. I'm sure it's been picked over and whatnot. But I mean, how much of this body do you need?
Road trip, diversion, field trip.
Not much.
This man, Darton, that you speak of, did he ever... You say he was like me, yes?
Yes. Well, I'm assuming like you. You look like a guy who likes to keep the lights low. You kind of hide in the shadows. You're like at a party. You're the guy who sits at the back against the wall, sort of thing.
I feel
right?
like you're stereotyping me. Unnecessarily.
Yeah, but I'm right?
Yes, that is actually true. All of it is true. But it still hurts.
Okay.
Did he ever mention the name Caraptus?
Say what?
Caraptus. Did that
Okay.
name escape his lips?
Raleigh, make a history roll. Wyndon, make a history roll. Ash, make a history roll.
Oh, that's Morgan. I was like, why do I have a +7 to history? Doesn't sound like Raleigh. There we go, +12. Much better.
Okay. Wyndon actually knows who it is. But all you know is this. Caraptus was a guy from legend, like way back. Super powerful dude. He predates like the Sewell and the Iridian migration of peoples to these lands. Okay, so you're talking about now to basically put it into perspective. In the Flyness, okay, where Greyhawk, the main place. The Iridians, the Sules, and the Backloonish all were in the western half. Okay, there was a great big war between the Sule and the Backloonish wizards. Reign of colorless fire, all this different stuff. Things get totally destroyed. Real apocalyptic type shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they disperse and they go east and they go into the Flyness. What is Greyhawk? Well, the Flyness or Greyhawk had its indigenous people, the Flan. That's where you get the name Flyness from. Okay, and they were here and lived here, and then they were moved out or disposed by the Iridians and the Sules. Those are the ones that came the furthest east, and the Backloonish, which are mostly up in the north, and then still pretty much they migrated the least, so they're going to be more northwest type. So Caraptus was a wizard that was really powerful before that happened. And you think he's connected to some volcano or something like that? And it's in the Bandit Kingdoms, this volcano. And matter of fact, you know where that volcano is. It's to the northwest of the Rift, right next to like some big ugly swamp area.
Huh.
So when you ask him, Trent goes, "Yeah, I'd never heard that name before in my life, but Darton had mentioned something." He was like, when he was reading these things over, he was like talking to himself and all kinds of different things. And, I definitely remember hearing that name.
He found this information in these papers you speak of.
I'm assuming, unless he just pulled it out of his ass while he was reading the papers and decided to say it.
We need to find this body.
Oh, that ought to be easy.
And if you guys actually,
Or-
I was
okay.
mistaken. If you actually just pan a little south, the pictures there, the map,
That's the
just a
first
little
thing
bit
that I can
south.
do. I don't. I can't go any
oh.
further south.
Okay. Well, directly south is a volcano.
Yeah, I see it on the bigger map.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a volcano down there called White Plume. You can see just the tip of it, right?
As it were.
I was wondering who was going to pick up on that bait.
Yeah, it was me.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, but I don't know who the hell or what that is. Caraptus, that thing, you might as well say Fruber Flubber, and it mean the same damn thing to me.
No,
So
I do not have the time or inclination to explain this to you, but thank you for the information. And then
did that guy just insult me?
Nope. No, he's cool. We're good.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
You want him to insult you?
I don't know if it was insulting, but it was certainly rude.
It was. Okay, so it wasn't just me. It was rude, right? Okay.
Then I just turn and I stare at Nordjor again and I say, I know you from someplace. Your face is familiar.
Do not recall having ever met you. And that's where Trent kind of like steps in between you guys. Seriously, we don't need these long drawn out conversations. You know.
To the body, right? Let's have a dead body
Fair.
party.
If you've met Nordro before, it would be pretty hard to forget him.
Yeah, because basically, furbolgs are not common at all in Greyhawk. Okay, now they're uncommon as it is anyway. Matter of fact, it's safe to say that none of you had it. You didn't even know about furbolgs until you met Nordjord. So,
Talon, may I call you Talon, by the way?
Yes, of course.
that's his name, Talon, huh? Ooh,
Talon,
okay.
yes. It's very avian. He's got a very avian thing going on here. Anyway,
Yeah, I see the feathers.
That's right.
Talon, how do you know Nordra? Are you familiar with furbolgs?
Frost giants.
I do not.
The frost giant.
I do not know. The memories slip like the silt of the river sticks through my fingers.
Right, that
Oh my
happens.
god, this dude's a fucking poet too, huh? Nice.
Look at him. He's totally
I know.
writing poetry when he, at night he's crying. And
He puts on the Cure. Starts. No one
There's
understands.
some
me, man.
Susie and the Banshees. It's
Yeah. Okay, that sounds about right. All right, I'm down with that.
Morrissey was right.
Okay. So, let me get this straight now. You can talk to the dead, right? Ash, right? And he looks back at Raleigh and goes, Ash, and he points at Ash.
Yes, that
yes.
is my
Ash,
name, and yes, that is what I
Ash,
said. I have
Ash,
little time
Bandit,
for those
Bandit,
I have
Lord
to
George.
keep repeating myself to.
Oh my God, gosh! And then he looks at Wyndon and goes, "Really? How long have you been stuck with these guys?"
I really don't even know at this point. I've lost track. Too long.
Well, if you can speak to the dead, I think maybe we should go back and try and see if we can scavenge up any of Darton's corpse.
I hate to be the voice of reason, but I actually don't hate to be the voice of reason. You guys, do you have an exact location of where you left this body? Because that seems a pretty needle in a haystack. Doesn't even come close to body in the world to find.
Oh no! Well, it's a shot in the dark, but I know where he died.
Bodies
That's-
tend to stay where you leave them.
Do they?
I mean,
Yeah.
dead ones.
I have
Dead
known
ones
otherwise.
almost always.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that there's just plenty of scavengers that probably chewed up his bone, body and whatnot. But who knows? I mean, how much do you need there, creepy dude? You need like a finger, or you need like how much?
Everything regulates pure facts. It is purely dependent upon the spirit that remains.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Lather. Well, sure. I mean, that's towards the canyon, correct?
Yeah. It's in between. We were like a day out of Rift Crag,
Right.
heading north back towards the Tangles when they caught us.
Seems on the way. This is just we'll just add it to the books. Why not? Find one dead body. Check. Okay.
And beyond that is the White Plume Mountain, where we may be able to find Caraptus, the self-called Shadow King.
Oh, wait, what? He's the self-called Shadow King?
Yes.
He's the entity you want to keep in the whatever?
Need to keep in the Shadow Realm.
Question, though. If he's in the Shadow Realm, how can we find him in this realm?
Because he is making an attempt to come to this world.
And you think that's where he's going to break through, essentially?
And he's going to use this ring to corrupt us. Corrupt us, right?
You pull
And
out
now
that-
Raleigh has the fucking ring that we don't want Raleigh to have.
Do I recognize that ring?
Oh, I guess.
Or the symbol?
I don't know. It's like, so Trent's like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, Caraptus, ring. What? All right, I'm at a loss. Okay, first of all,
So
you
am
seem
I.
to know more about what's going on here than anybody else, and he's pointing at Talon. So what are you talking about, Caraptus, Shadow King, and all this different crap? What the hell is all that?
Well, he's doing all of that. Ash actually starts rooting around in his bag and pulls out Silverwolf's finger and says, if we put the finger back on the ring, would it tell us something?
That's a really good question.
Ooh, I don't here. And Raleigh gives him the ring.
And then I take the ring and just kind of sit there holding them both and look towards Talon over there. And then kind of start looking for a way to distract Raleigh so he forgets about the ring.
You don't need to.
I was going to say, you don't need to
Still
distract
different.
Raleigh.
He's already wandered off, yeah.
So true. And he goes, so Trent again is like, yeah, man, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. So,
Yep.
I mean, we could talk to this dead guy and then find out what was in that paperwork. I don't know what the deal was that you guys struck with Gerner and his creepy little fucking gnome, but I got to go and cause as much trouble up here and then make it back in 13 before 13 months are up to get my soul back.
Their boilerplate template for soul stealing and whatnot. We were given the same instructions.
You guys, you don't actually buy into that bullshit, do you?
Oh, I do.
Because it's been fun, but they're not going to give us the souls back.
Oh, well, no. They probably aren't, but we need to find out as much as we can so we can take them back.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, one's as good as another. All I know is this is the only thing I've got to work towards.
Yep. I'm with you.
Guys, I got a question. And this has been weighing on my mind pretty heavy for a long time now. When we find our souls, I can only imagine that they're going to be in like a bottle, right? If you keep a soul, you got to keep a soul in a bottle. You can't put it in a paper bag.
That's the standard rule, yes, of course.
So then you've got the soul in the bottle. Do you drink it, or do you smash the bottle on the ground and it turns into a vapor that you inhale? Because I don't think it's an either-or situation. And what if I just throw my soul on the ground? And what if I drink a soul and you're not supposed to drink a soul? That can't be good. I
don't know the answer to that.
Again, man, I'm feeling for you, bro.
I just look at him and nod my head like, yeah.
I believe that would correspond to incredible chaos. Now let's move on.
Your souls are in peril.
Really? Huh. Thank you, Talon.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
So to the dead guy?
Well, first we have to see if our escort is going. I'd like as many armored and horse riding men between me and danger as possible. So if we
need any soldiers, you can just conjure up some soldiers, right?
Can't do that. No,
maybe
can't do
just
that.
like turn the trees into your warrior friends. I don't know how magic works, but you'll figure something out.
Stone. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Because I mostly shoot crossbows. That's my skill. I know a couple little spells, but not much.
He's very modest, this one. Norjo, you remember.
Yes.
I'm getting bored.
Right about then,
they've been gone for at least 3 minutes. They have to be dead.
Yeah, the grown-ups are talking, so.
Yeah. So right about then, Lord Calvert comes walking back with the lady who introduced herself as Relina. And Lord Calvert comes walking up and says, "Well, Relina, it was nice seeing you again, and good luck. I will pass on the information to Lord Malvin."
Is she? Sorry to interrupt. Is she with her jet black hair and all? Is she like me, or is she?
No.
Elf?
No. She definitely has. Now that you are looking at it, half elven sort of features to her, but her ears are surprisingly unpointed.
Okay.
But
I'll walk slowly over to her.
Like bong chicka wow wow kind of walk over to her, or?
No. I have just a look of more curiosity on my face than swag. And I say, "Your name, Relina, you say?"
Yes, I am Relina Mesk. And you are? Sorry, she sounds like Trent.
You are related to the big man over there, I see.
Right.
Or at least grew up in the same neighborhood. I don't know. My name, and I sort of look down, look around. My name is, and then I look back at her. My name is Talon Ravengard. Well, your name very familiar. Your face
Well, I don't know who you are, Fred, but I pretty much. Yeah, I'm the head of the resistance in the Tangles against IUs. I used to work for Lord Renault.
Yes, I see. I apologize if I've mistaken you for somebody else.
Um, don't worry about it. It's okay. She looks kind of like awkward at you, and Calvert's kind of like, yes, well, now that that's over with. Yes, well, really, I will, as I said, pass on the information, and we will see you soon. And she goes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, lady rebel leader person,
You can just call me Relina.
Relina. When I was back here a couple months ago, there was some weird goings-ons with like an elf or something. Did any of that ever get resolved?
You talking about the shadow beasts?
Maybe.
It's like I'm trying to think back to session 0.2. And,
Yeah.
Right. Yes. You guys were when you were here in the Tangles before you guys all left. There was a whole thing about spies within the Tangles.
Right.
And those spies were passing on information. They found within there was like the old lady that they ended up killing. They chased the shadow thing came out of from within it and went to a cave, right? And they went to that cave and then they found it in there. So that's what happened. That's what Wyndham is familiar with. Okay.
Yep.
I'm assuming you don't recant that memory.
No, I was just asking if anything else came from it.
And she's like, fortunately, we haven't had any more problems with that after that. I don't even know what you would call it. Was killed. The information seemed to the ambushers stopped. They are still sending many Iusian troops in on a regular basis, a lot of which are more militant than before. It's not the ragtag rebels of orcs out of Kinmead or what have you. They're mostly coming from the west now. They're hobgoblins. There are a lot of hobgoblins, and they're the hobgoblins of Chief Olgin and his like.
Interesting. Well, so far they haven't burned the forest down. That's good.
Yep. Chief Olgin and his hobgoblins are the ones who put to Sword and Torch Hollow on.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
And she says, well, good luck to you. And she then just turns and starts going back into the forest. The other archers that were with her that came out of the forest follow her in. And Norjor turns and starts to leave and go back into the forest and goes, goodbye, my friends.
Good seeing you, Norjor. Good luck, man.
Yes. And then he leaves.
Brass hand, Trent.
My name is... No, they stay standing right there.
Oh, right. Are you guys coming with us? That's right. It's been
a
busy week.
And Corwin speaks for the first time and he goes, my name is Corwin. It is not Brass Hand.
I know. Can you move it? Can you move it around?
And he does like some Bruce Lee stuff. He goes,
nice.
And does like a spin and whatnot, and then ends like that. Yes, it is serviceable.
I mean, it's sad you lost your hand, but that's kind of sweet,
Yes, it was a terrible thing to have happen, but it has made me stronger. I do survive.
I am curious, how did you get such a... I mean, that's a pretty sophisticated bit of magic there. How did you get that?
It was given to me by Tobold Burner.
Really?
Yes.
That fucking guy.
Huh.
Exactly. The same one who took our souls.
So,
Raleigh waits until like a few seconds pass after they've disappeared out of sight into the woods, and he goes, if I don't say this now, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I'll be right back. And he goes chasing off after Relina into the woods.
Okay.
And once he gets into the woods, he ducks behind a tree out of sight and casts Alter Self on himself to look like Lord Calvert.
Uh-huh.
And he goes running up to Relina, and he, please, Relina, if you may, just a word.
Okay, I'll say you catch up to her. She stops and turns. Yes, Lord Calvert?
And he kind of pulls her aside, and he goes, I'm terribly embarrassed to have to admit this, but about our conversation earlier, recently in battle, I was struck in the head. I've had a few blank spots since then, and I just want to be very clear that I remember our conversation correctly.
Oh, why didn't you say so? And she like takes his helmet, takes your imaginary helmet off. and caresses your imaginary face. And hold on, I need to roll. Let's see. Okay, all right. And then she leans in and she kisses you. She stands on her tippy toes and like brings you down and kisses you like real passionate like, and then turns and kisses the side of your head. And he goes, "You should have said something, my love."
Yeah, Raleigh was not prepared for this. So I guess the charm person spell isn't going to be necessary.
And she looks over her shoulders and sees that her men, like those who had actually were walking with her, have seen what's going on and are like, okay, well, we'll just keep going. And they like all melt into the woods and like leave the two of you alone. She goes, and she looks back up at you. It was simple, my love. Just tell Malvin, Lord, tell that asshole Malvin that when he's ready, we will join him in his bid. That's all you need to tell him. But my love, and she like caresses your face again. If he's, I'm telling you, I don't like it. I don't think that he has the best concerns for Jarhas to heart, and that means you.
But my love, he is my lord.
He wants to work with the Iusians. I don't think it's a good idea. But if it means a free and independent Jarhas, I will help him. But only and only if you are there. Now go before your men start wondering where you've at. And she puts the helmet, imaginary helmet, back on your head.
So an Alter Self is actually a transmutation spell, I believe. So it's real.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah.
Okay.
So
because the illusion spells, that would be like she'd go to touch it and it would just be like
no, that's why this is all happening. I mean,
it's all working. Okay.
I still had her roll because this isn't Calvert, somebody who she's intimately familiar with. Okay, so
I'm sure he'd be a little bit surprised. So there's that, like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. So then she puts the helmet back on, you gives you a quick kiss and slaps you on your ass, and then turns around and walks into the forest.
All right. So
while that's going on, he's making patty fingers with somebody else's girl.
Yeah.
Lord Calvert, with you guys all there, he starts mounting up and he goes, "All right, well, we're about to ride." And he walks the horse over to where you guys are kind of situated at, and he goes, "So, unfortunately, my dear friends, we're going to have to part ways at this point in time. But to show my appreciation for what you did in Kidmeet, I'm going to leave you with horses. So that you can quickly make your way to... Yes, unfortunately, we are going to ride hard back to... well, I can't say that. There's other people here now. But anyway, so... goodbye." And he turns and he starts riding away.
Is there a just like a pure black horse?
Surprisingly, there is not a pure black horse.
I just look at them and go,
Matter of
Is
fact,
there a gray one with black hair?
yeah, they're all white,
Ah, ooh.
golden manes. No, they're just motley, horses of different colors and stuff like that. And they leave behind 6 horses and just ride off.
Oh, that's something. Free horses.
And-
Free horses.
And they are riding at a distinctly faster pace than when they were coming down.
Has Raleigh come back yet?
And
So actually,
cue
Morgan
Raleigh.
comes back.
And cue
And,
Morgan.
He's very concerned.
Hey there.
And,
Did you do what you had to do?
it was Raleigh got more than I think he bargained for. I've come privy to some troubling information.
Well, that would be a switch, wouldn't it?
Right.
I've had nothing but troubling information ever since I had my soul sucked
That's
out of
where
me. I don't know about
that's where I
you
was
guys.
going with that. Okay.
At this, Morgan kind of takes stock of his surroundings and pulls Winton aside and kind of looks at Ash like, "You're welcome to, like, just the press gang." And
So I walk over there. Yes.
this Relina character has informed me unwittingly that Lord Calvert, his master, Lord Malvin, he seeks to ally with Ayuz for the benefit of Jorhas, which
Right.
there are already so few forces working against Ayuz that I feel like this one more domino could be disastrous.
I mean, they have to know that IUs will steamroll over them if given the opportunity, but I guess they're desperate. Well, what do you propose we do about this, if anything? I don't think we could take on a legion of Jarhasian mounted warriors with 4 or 5 of us.
I don't think that. I don't think it's the Jarhasians per se who all want to do this. It seems, from what I gathered, that Lord Malvin is acting on his own, and the Jarhasians may follow. But if we could remove Lord Malvin in the proper way, maybe put someone, maybe like Lord Calvert, I got the impression that he was not on board with his master's plan. I don't know. It might be time for a regime change, but there is the rift. We can find there's not enough hours in the day. There's so much in this world that needs fixing.
Indeed. Well, I don't know that we'll have a lot of ease. I think it would be difficult to infiltrate the Lord Malvin's courts in any capacity. And I'll be honest, despite my suave, debonair style, I'm not that great at politics. So,
And I could care less, really. So.
Don't forget that there was some really big knowledge that just dropped on you guys.
Yeah. Which one? The Corruptus one?
Oh yeah,
Caraptus.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be what Talon's all about.
Caraptus, the Raven Queen, the Shadow, the Raven Queen, the King of Shadows, all of that different stuff. Which basically, I mean, you've got a bunch of questions and no answers to any of that stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, so.
Do we know where Lord Melvin's based out of? Like, would we know that?
right?
Yeah. That's Calvert told you. Remember he did the whisper thing and he looked over his shoulders and says, that they forayed out of Dimri. Because technically, Dimri's has a truce with Ayuz right now.
Right. I'm trying to find Dimri on the map.
It's not on that one.
There it is. Well, yeah, no, it's on the other map. There it is, to the east. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. cool.
I think for now our path is clear. We must find the corpse of this. What was it? Detrin?
Darton.
Darton.
D'Artagnan,
Yeah.
something like
We
that.
must find the remains of this Darton. For
I
whatever-
really don't think that's going to be as easy as everyone seems to think. You think it's stroll up after a couple months and find a dead body somewhere in the world, but I mean, sure.
If it is on the way to the White Plume Mountain,
Oh, is that where we're going now? I thought we were going to Rift Crag.
on the way, yes, we may stop.
Do you ever guys
They're
think
actually, yeah, Rift Crag is on the other side of the Grand Canyon.
We got to
Right.
get around the canyon anyway, one way or the other, right?
No,
I want to
no,
know
actually,
how all
if
of
you
this is helping to restore my church.
well, I use as opposed to your church, right?
That is true.
So anything we could do to weaken IUs could strengthen your church, yes?
Your
That is
church,
true.
Your church, my friend, is but a relic.
Yeah, that's nice. Just tell someone there.
do it again. Say something else.
And with that, I simply float about 20 feet up in the air and contemplate.
Talon, I get the impression you're not super great at diplomacy. Does that seem like a fair statement, or?
I do not understand what you mean.
Right. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. All right. So let's make a list here. Try to see if we could do something in Rift Crag to steal something like documents or something otherwise that's important to IUs. Right. That's one item. Try to find.
And
A
you
dead
know
body.
that they're there. You know they're there because
Yeah.
they stole them once. Unless they've been moved,
Right.
they were
And why would they
probably
do that? Try to find a dead body somewhere. Somewhere. Okay, that's another item. Apparently
that
go
way.
to this mountain that a wizard has been ruling or wants to rule or something. So that's
To
item.
prevent the King of Shadows, Caraptus, from coming to this world, and I mean,
Somehow he's still causing trouble in the world, even though it's not in the world, I guess.
it is all
Sure.
wrapped up in your souls. If you want to free your souls, this is the answer.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have nothing better to do. It's fine. I have my sure. So for tackling this, what's first, body or Rift Crag?
Absolutely the body.
Or Rift Crag. Right.
The body will give us insight. If we intend to try to infiltrate Rift Crag,
Yeah.
Where did this paperwork go?
insight
To
we
Rift
can gain
Crag?
from someone who's already done it. It will be invaluable.
Apparently went back to Rift Crag as far as we know.
Okay.
And Talon, if we're gonna have, I'm assuming you can't speak to the dead, or am I wrong about this?
I do not
Yes.
speak
So
to the dead.
if we're gonna try to speak to the dead, why don't we not insult the one person who we know who can do that? Can we try to do that?
I mean no insult, and I apologize if you took it that way, Cleric
I
of
didn't
Nehru.
take anything anyway, but I think he might have.
I said,
This
I
is
mean,
where you drop in. I was merely pointing out the reality of this.
yeah, I was just saying, I'm merely speaking the truth.
People don't like. Here's one thing I've learned in my life. People don't like the truth. They don't usually want to hear it. So I'm just going to put that out there. It's something to think about.
This is interesting. And then I just sort of, all of a sudden, just turn my head, look at the Tangles, and I'll say, as you get ready to prepare for our journey, I shall return. And the shadows swirl around me, and I disappear.
Get rid
And
of
as that's happening, all of a sudden you hear singing, forsaken dead, stay in your tombs and crypts. Nerul shall bind you in blood. Death is not always the end.
Is Trent still around?
Yeah. After Ash finishes singing, all you hear is from you turn around and Trent is sitting on top of Forrest with his maul on his shoulder. He goes, "Yeah, I thought I had it bad with this guy and the blue dude."
Nope.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, are you guys
Minute-
done singing and whatnot? And where the fuck did that guy just go in a puff of smoke?
So
I don't
I
know.
appear, hopefully right behind a tree where nobody can see me because I can't really do this that far. But, but
Sure, we'll say that happens.
it's much cooler when they don't know that. I just sort of make a beeline through the forest, not a long way, and eventually come to a tiny sort of. It's almost like a little treehouse, and I don't go up into the tree. I look and I sort of sink to my knees for a moment and look at at this little house in the wood, and I try to understand why I'm here and why I'm looking at this, and what drew me to this place. And then after a few moments, I walk back to my spot behind the tree, and the shadows swirl around, and I reappear.
Okay, and as you reappear, the group is maybe we'll say 100 yards in the distance, riding the horses, and there's one lone horse right there, like waiting for you.
Fine, I don't mind riding by myself. I'll get on. I'll follow behind. I mean, I'll try to pick up some of the distance,
yes.
But I don't speed, so I'm right there with them. I'll be back a little bit for the trip.
Gotcha. And so you guys start making your way, start riding, and Trent starts leading the way. Now, if you look on the map there, you see the Tangles, and you go directly south. There's Rift Crag.
Yep.
Well, I should say directly south. It's southeast on the map. White Plume's on the other side of the rift.
Okay.
Right. It's
so
like
you
over here somewhere, right? Something like that.
Down there.
Down, like off the map, obviously, but
It's actually, if you want to, I'll ping it if you want to pull out. Yeah, there it is, right there. Yep.
I can't. This is as far back as we can go.
yeah,
Yes.
the map won't like go
Yeah.
any further. But yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if.
But I
Well-
see, like, is this the peak of it I'm looking at?
Yes,
Yep.
that is the very peak. That's as I
Okay.
said, the tip of White Plume is right over there.
All right. Well, again, it's going to be a ride anyway, so I don't put up a fight by going here first. And
Right. All right, so you guys
because I
start
feel like
riding.
we're going to find one way or the other. We need to find some information before, because I don't know how to. I don't say this to them, but I don't know how the fuck to stop this guy from coming to the into this world. So we probably learn something about it first.
Right?
Is Ash still floating, or is he back on his horse?
He's tied to the
I'm
horse,
floating
floating above.
just tied to the saddle horn, so the horse is pulling me.
There you
Because
go.
it's much more comfortable than actually sitting in the saddle. So
All right. Morgan will have taken the reins of his horse and kind of guide him along to keep the horse with the rest of the group.
So while you're riding, Trent is riding next to Wyndham. He looks like, does that guy always float?
Yeah, he likes to. I don't know, man. Sure. I mean, at least it means I don't have to hear him talk about Nehru all the time if he's up there. So
Yeah.
whatever.
If you want to talk
Yeah,
about the
you-
Raven Queen, you just come talk to me.
He goes, well, yeah, and I thought it was a pain in the ass being with Mr. I speak like an elementary school blue dude, and then, well, this guy over here, and he points over at Corwin and says, because he don't say shit.
Yep.
and Corwin just looks at him when he says that, and doesn't say anything.
I honestly wouldn't mind that more if more of my group was a little bit more silent, but
Yeah, I bet. And hey, I understand this is a needle in a haystack sort of thing, but I mean, if we can find a piece of this guy, and your creepy friend Floaty over there can
yeah.
work his magic, maybe.
Floating McDeath Talker.
Yes.
Another track on Tritherian Jesus.
Right? So true. Okay, so you guys start riding along. Surprisingly, Trent seems to be quite adept at tracking in wilderness. it's almost as if he's a ranger.
Yeah, good. 'Cause we just lost one of those, so that's helpful.
true.
So you guys are traveling, riding along, and you ride for the majority of that day, and it gets to evening time, and you guys start to make camp. And Trent tells you that the area where they had fought the Iusian guys is going to be somewhere. If he can find it, we'll find it tomorrow. And he says, and he tells you guys to keep an eye out for the skies.
Do they have flyers?
They do. They have a squadron of these really nasty giant vultures that are out of Rift Crag. That's what got us. And to tell you the truth, like I said, it was the only reason that myself and Corwin survived is because Big Blue had magic, and
Right.
it's just, the fate of the gods that we ran into his dumb ass when we were coming down here to begin with. He had it in his mind he was going to come down here and kill everybody in this Rift Crag and free his forest. So we kind of talked him out of that and let him know that, that can't happen. We gave him this crash course on who and what Ius is, and then he decided that he had to go back and tell his people, whatever the fuck that means. So
Yeah.
okay.
What kind of terrain are we either in or going to be entering when we're near this body?
It's
Still
this,
rolling hills, or
it's this grasslands, man. I mean, the you know as well as I do, the majority of if you're not around the river or in the Tangles or up by the Fell Reef,
it's just endless prairie.
yeah, you got it. One big, long, empty nothing. That's
Great.
why if we keep our eyes peeled and I'm pretty sure I can get the bearings down, and we don't go at a heavy enough clip, I think that we'll be able to at least find the area where the combat happened. We had a wizard with us that was popping off a lot of fireballs, and so there should be plenty of scorch marks in areas and stuff like that. So
What happened to him?
he died.
Yeah.
Horribly.
So,
Was it
Morgan,
the
this
vultures, or
is-
did he die some other way?
No, it was the
Natural
vulture.
causes.
There were
Natural
6 of us.
causes. Yeah.
There were 6 of us, and 4 of them died.
Ugh. All right.
He had untreated diabetes.
Morgan listens intently to this, and then he opens up his jacket and lets Bruce come out, and he kind of holds him and pets him on the head and whispers to him, and then sends him up in the air to scout for any of the signs of the battle that he had described, secondary, but firstly for giant fucking vultures.
Gotcha. Okay. So he'll go off and he'll start doing that. I take it you guys, everybody's bedding down for the evening. Okay. Hobble up the horses and what have you. Was there anything in particular anybody wanted to do this night?
So we don't have the whole escort anymore. So yeah, I would set up an alarm, a proximity, but
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
I will raise Salus as a skeleton zombie thing, and set her on guard.
Gotcha.
No, that's not creepy at all.
No.
No, I'll just do my normal practicing my crossbowmanship and my reading. That's all.
Gotcha.
Now, can
I
I
will
tell if Salus's soul is still hanging around, or is it at peace?
No, you can't tell any of that,
Okay.
but Ash can, and it's not.
That's fine. No, I'm cool. If it's not at peace. Yeah.
No, it's not there. It's
Yeah.
it's not
Oh.
there. Yeah. So
You can call her and talk to her if you want
you
specifically.
sure the fuck could, guys.
Yeah, I
But-
don't know. I don't know who this fuck this is. I don't.
Yeah. But Wyndon and you guys do.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. No.
Look,
Absolutely
Lord
not.
Jarhasians is here.
Norge
He
is thankfully
loved
not here with
Salas.
us.
Yeah.
Norger loved
Yeah.
all of the NPCs.
He did. He did. Okay, so what's the order of the watch? Trent will take first watch.
Know that
You
I need
stop
to
us.
sleep at all. Actually,
Yeah, I think you do.
I need. I mean,
No,
need. I at least need a 4-hour trance.
Yeah, I don't know if that applies
Yeah, same.
to them or not.
Yeah,
so.
it does. It does. Yeah.
Okay,
It's a
so
high elf. It does, yeah.
no, these are something
I'm
different.
something else.
Yeah.
I'll take second or third watch since I've got the dark vision. I only
Yeah,
need
I'll
4
take the
hours.
last, like when dawn's coming or whatever.
Okay, so basically it could be
we
like
could take
this.
first watch.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay. So I was gonna say
Do you
that.
guys trust me to take a watch, or do you want me? I'll take one with Morgan/Raleigh if you want.
Yeah, there we go. That'd be
Yeah.
good.
Well,
Plus it's
and
in the
that's what I
middle of
was
the night
saying.
where it's dark.
Trent would take like first watch, and then after Trent took the first watch, Michael and creepy Salas could be around, and then the sort of Fey-ish type whatever thing.
I'm not Fae. No, we have
Right,
maybe some
exactly.
distant ancestry, but I'm not.
Yeah. But those who only need the trance could watch the rest of the night.
Sure.
So, okay. All right. So I need to make a couple of rolls. So let's see. Okay, cool. All right. So during the night, well, I guess one question I have is Bruce gonna? Because Bruce will go out and do a circle, look around. How long are you gonna have Bruce doing it? Does Bruce go out, do a circle, come back? Does Bruce just do it all night and then
All night.
Yeah, he's a
And
bat.
Okay.
just coming back to me if he sees anything
Perfect.
that fits the triggers.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically, what ends up happening is the night progresses, okay, and nothing's going on, nothing's happening, and then about on the last watch, which was essentially you've got Morgan and Talon are up. Everybody else is kind of like zonked out. Bruce comes fluttering back and lets you know that in bat talk, I can't do bat talk. Whatever the fuck. What's that?
Squeak.
Squeak. Found at least the site of that fight.
Okay.
At least, because basically what the bat relays to you is like burned grass, trampled grass, bone, broke sword. Basically, because it can't tell you like, hey man, I was out flying around. It's nothing like
Right.
that. It's just,
I mean, all it really needs to do is give me like the general direction
Exactly.
to and a brief hint, and I can just take his senses into mine and go explore it for myself, which is what I would do. So I can actually see it.
there you go. So that's basically what you get, and then so like Bruce is relaying the information to you. Okay.
Sure.
And then after Bruce gets done with that broken sword, trampled grass, so forth and so on, and then the last thing Bruce says is, "Big birds coming."
Oh, all right.
And right about then you hear, "Scraw, scraw."
Yeah. So he would begin to rouse everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, and do I hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I stand up and say, the birds that they spoke of are here, and Shadow starts to from the morning sort of flows around me, and suddenly I'm holding a long bow, which is just like this black long bow, shadows coming from it. Pull an arrow out of nowhere and notch it and look into that direction. And as soon as I see one, I will let an arrow fly.
Wyndon kind of sees that and kind of looks slightly jealous, like, huh. Like he thinks to himself, that's even cooler than mine.
Okay, so one of the things that Bruce relays to you is the distance in which these big birds are at, and they're coming. They are coming, but they're not like coming directly toward you. You gain that there's like a patrol, and they're flying about. So it's a matter of you might run into them. They'll see you from the sky, especially once you don't know if they can see in the dark, but because dawn is really close, and once the sun comes up, it's very likely that they'll be able to spot you guys if they're still flying around. So I guess the question is, what do you guys want to do about that? They're not upon you as of right now.
Is there anywhere to hide? I mean, we're in the middle of prairie, right? There's like nothing.
You're correct. I don't know. You're the wizard.
How tall is the grass here?
At the highest, it would become about thigh high. On the average, it's about knee high.
That's not tall enough. All right.
I have a plan.
Okay.
We cannot hide from them. They will find us. But we can set a trap. Vultures are carnivorous animals. They feed upon the dying. And he looks at one of the horses and he kind of pets it. He goes, I'm sorry, my friend.
Wait.
And then slits its throat.
Oh.
I can see it too. Morgan just goes over, they're carnivorous. And he's like petting the horse and he's doing it softly, in his best creepy way. It's like,
yeah.
They want to, and all you see is Wyndon, like in the shot behind him, going, wait. Okay, so the horse starts stumbling as it's bleeding out, and it starts like moving over a little bit, losing its blood. It walks for a little bit and tries to run, stumbles, falls, gets on its legs, and then like leans over, and it's breathing heavy as it pumps the rest of its blood out and then dies.
Did you have to kill our horse? Yeah. Like, we couldn't have just pretended one of us was a corpse or something.
I can't even raise that back up to make it useful again. You get that, right?
Is that because it's an animal, Ash?
It needs to be real. I could create an illusion of a dead horse, and it might work to catch their attention from the sky, but they need to smell the blood.
All right. I'm gonna start
into the grass.
Yeah. Yep. What's done is done. I'm gonna start scattering away and get my crossbow ready.
And to be clear, it was his horse that he killed. He didn't kill anybody else's.
So what are you doing with the other horses?
Yeah, they're not gonna like that.
No.
Well, they're standing there and they're kind of like, doing that horse like side look, like, what the fuck is this?
Guys, you see that?
And they're like kind of stamping a little bit.
It's cool, man. He broke his ankle.
What's But I mean, are you just gonna let them go and then you guys are just gonna lie down in the grass?
No,
I mean,
we need to move them out of
I'm
the
assuming
way
they're
now.
like tied up in one way or another.
they're hobbled because So I mean, you can just leave it there.
Just
No,
leave
I want to back
horses.
them away from. I'll take the horses and back them at least away from this, so if the vultures don't start attacking them as well.
That's when now Trent pipes up and he goes, "You do know that these ravens got riders, right? They're not just ravens. I mean, not just vultures. There's people with them."
We did not know that, Trent.
That's probably
Yeah, no,
would have
that-
been helpful
that's,
information
brand
from the
new
beginning.
information.
Yes.
Hey, by the way, guys, there's riders on these vultures.
Great. That would have been pertinent to tell us, oh, I don't know, anytime before now, but that's fine.
Well, hey, I didn't expect the guy to go off and cut the damn horse's throat.
Well, there's also that. Well, quickly.
I mean, you could
All right.
make an argument on both sides. Yeah.
This can still work. And Morgan reaches his hands down into the throat of the horse and just comes up covered in blood and starts wiping the blood all over his own throat and gets like a couple good and then lays down in the grass next to the horse. And he goes, horse for the vultures, Morgan for the fighters. Go
I'll
hide.
direct Silas to go over and lay there all sprawled out as well.
All right.
All right, I'll help Talon, and presumably Trent will move these horses away, at least so they're not right in the line of fire.
Yeah, and Trent asked you guys. So let me get this straight. You're not a wizard, right?
No, I'm not a wizard. I don't know why
All
they
right,
think I am.
well, I'm just asking because everybody calls you a wizard. I mean, just checking.
They're wrong, and I don't get it, honestly.
All right, and I take it none of you guys know anything about shit. All right, this is what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna send these horses packing. We got to send them away.
No, you leave
I don't
the
think-
horses
I
because
don't think
any
that's a
bird or rider that attacks in a horse is time that they have spent not attacking you.
I don't
Let these horses die.
I don't
for
think you understand. What we want to do is we want to bring them down. If somebody from the sky sees 5 other riderless horses, they're going to know something's up. Maybe we can scare the horses away farther enough they won't know anything. We can get down in the grass and we can cover ourselves at least so that we'll be hidden. And then all they see are you guys. And maybe that's
All
enough
right.
for them to come
All right.
down, and then we can attack them on the ground. That's what I say.
All right.
You're wise.
do it.
Trent.
Okay, so then Trent goes up and he gets all the horses, and none of you guys know how to talk to animals either, right? Nobody?
No.
All right. Okay.
Just-
Well, hopefully them seeing you killed the other one is going to be enough. And then he takes his maul and he whacks him on the ass. Not like he like winds up and he's trying to hurt him, but he's
Right.
trying to hurt him enough so that they start running. And so he goes and
In
he
the
does
westerns, all you have to do is just give him a good slap.
Yeah, that's the movies. This is role playing. And so they start running off, and then what he instructs you guys, okay, lay down, and then he's got like a dagger, and he starts like harvesting some of this grass, and he throws it over on the top of people. The first person he tells to lay down is Corwin, and he lays down, and he covers them up with grass, and then he starts covering other people up with grass, and he cuts it down right quick. And about the time that you guys are done, like covering yourselves with grass and what have you, the sun has pretty much crested, and the dawn is coming out upon the prairie, and you start hearing the cause of the ravens. I keep calling them ravens. The vultures.
People. We're cool guys. I got this. I'll talk to them.
Getting closer. So what I want you guys to do now is everybody go ahead and just give me a perception roll.
Perception.
Uh-huh.
Can I
That's
have
great.
advantage because I have the bat circling around still?
I'm not
Totally.
better than Wyndon, but still not good.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, it's taking so long to make these rolls. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, 8. That's good.
Well, the bat's kind of scared. And
Oh, that was Raleigh.
it's
Actually, probably
with you now.
12 or 13.
But
13.
essentially what it is you see them, you see that there's about 6, and they're flying in very large circles, going around. All right. Now what I want everyone to do is roll a stealth check for me. This is basically for your hide.
I don't suppose old Trent cast pass without a trace on us, did he?
No, we did not.
All right, here we go.
19. Well, Wyndon and I are okay so far.
Okay.
I'm assuming you don't want one from me because I'm not trying to hide.
Yeah, not from you. And then these two, first one's Ash, second one's Ash. First one's Trent, second one is Corwin.
Oof.
Ooh,
9 and a 5.
Not good. Not good at all. Okay. But basically, so everybody's hiding under the grass. So with the hide, I need to check one thing.
Now, are we like sort of circled around them rather than all just bunched up together, I imagine, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And for one, because you had to do that because if he cuts that much grass in a particular area, it's just yeah. All right, I just need to see. There we go. So whoever got above. All right. So yours was actually a 13, Raleigh? I mean, Morgan.
He didn't do it because he's lying out in the open,
No, it was
covered
a
in blood.
perception thing. That was.
Oh, that's right. You don't need to roll yours. Okay, so
Right.
Ash had an 8. Wyndon and Talon had 19, and then your guys had a 9 and a 5 plus whatever.
Okay. All right. So whoever didn't get above 13, the vultures start circling and coming down. And actually, that's where we're going to end it, with these guys coming down towards you. And I'm just for the sake of it, because they're making their way towards particular individuals. And if you didn't roll above a 13, you're one of those individuals. So these rolls will still be out here for next Tuesday when we come in. So
Cool.
And and unfortunately, it's Trent and Corwin are two of the ones that we're safe.
Oh, they're safe?
No, they're not safe. They were spotted.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good. I'd rather them go down than us.
Right? Totally true.
I mean, they saw Ash, but I feel like Ash could take care of himself.
Of course he can.
He's a vampire. Will stand up.
He's a player character. Now, you guys don't know right away that they've spotted you because they circled down, and you can definitely see that. They're circling lower and lower and lower, and then basically when they get to a point of roughly about 150 feet above you guys, that's when they break off from the circling pattern, and the vultures start coming down, and then that's when you're like, looks like they're coming at me. So, all right, so that's going to be the conclusion of episode 27 of Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. We got some introductions, got some information, and a bunch of other good stuff. So, hey, I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and watching this episode. And, of course, we'll be back. Everything's good for next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. All right. Next Tuesday, we'll see how many people die at the bloody claws of vultures and who survives.
I've got to figure out how to use this guy now. I don't know.
Right.
I'm pretty sure what you're going to do is called Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. I did take Hex just because I felt like I needed to. Yeah, Hunter's Mark. Yeah. I took Hunter's. I'm finally going to use Hunter's Mark now.
Exactly. All right, everybody. Hey, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it as always. If you know anybody who enjoys Greyhawk, D&D, or just probably best damn D&D live stream on the internet, let them know about us. Always can check out on,
or just like listening to us bullshit.
Yes, because there's an awful lot of that too.
That's a large component, apparently.
Yeah, that's what makes us different. It's like you're hanging out with us, really, which is what you want to. That's what you want to do. You don't want to just watch some random people play D&D. You want to feel like you're at the table, and that's what we provide here at Return to the Bandit Kingdoms.
There it is. All right, everybody.
For better
thank
or
you.
worse.
For better or worse.
Hang out in real life.
All right.
Don't tell them that, otherwise they're not going to want to watch.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, dude?
No, we're cool. People love us. They want to hang out with us all the time.
Right.
That's what we're trying to project here.
Yeah, pay no attention to my exes.
Oh yeah, we're getting back into that now.
All right, everybody, have a great night.
Yeah, there it is. All right, peace out. Have a good one, guys.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Well, I guess it's Wednesday, depending.
Well, it is technically 2 minutes to Wednesday,
There you go.
An hour.
and we're out. Well, for you.